Believe it or not, this is episode 160 of Cocktails in the War Room. What's going on? I'm Mistress Carrie. I am your host, and welcome to Cocktails in the War Room, which is actually in my war room here in my house, and it's a place we've gathered 160 times since March 14th of 2020. And with me, as always, is my co-host and the troublemaker and my partner in crime. Do you want to say hi, Wednesday? Say hi. Say hi. You don't want to say hi? Should I turn the pug cam on? Do you want to sit down? What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me. It's Tuesday night at 8:30. Here's my co-host, Wednesday. Say hi, Wednesday. Sit down. What's up here? What's up here? See this up here? Yeah. How are you guys doing? Christine, Keith, Carol, Jeff, David's here, Michael's here, Paula is joining us, Annette, Elsa is here, Mark is here, Ryan and Melissa, Donna checking in on the comments. Feel free to chime in. Let me know that you're doing all right. Oh my God, my hair is like crazy. So I don't know what's going on with the headphones, but the headphones have been like driving me absolutely insane. I have a headphone head because I wear headphones so much now, and it's like denting and doing all these weird things with my hair. Are you scratching at me because you think that you're going to get a cookie or something? Let me turn on your side-by-side pug cam so everyone can see you attempting to sit here so nicely with all of your toys stacked up behind you. As you guys can tell, it's now December. It's the holiday season, so I have decorated appropriately here in the War Room with some of the newest additions to the War Room holiday decor. Some of the new nutcrackers that I got last year. I got the Marine nutcracker. I got the Navy nutcracker back here. I got Camo Santa over here. And then, of course, there's things like the Ducking Stingray, which join us as often as possible when Wednesday is here in the War Room. Michael's here. Is hubby back with that crazy hair? No, he's not. That crazy hair is unfortunately nothing to do with the hubs. Shannon says, forget the camera, Mom. Give me the damn cookies. Yeah, exactly. You guys know Wednesday all too well. Chris is hanging out with us. What's up, Mr. Fitzy? I made it. Raise a glass, says Jason. Keith is hanging out with us. Mr. Fitz, how are you? Guys, we got to take a moment to acknowledge Richard Fitz Jr. says, hey, FYI, is today exactly 53 years ago, that fateful day on November 30th, 1968. And so we want to raise a glass to Richard Fitz Sr., a Gold Star son, Jr., hanging out with us here in the War Room, as he does a lot. So to commemorate that anniversary and to make sure you all in the Fitz family know how much we care about you, cheers to you, and obviously a solemn occasion, not an anniversary you want to celebrate or acknowledge, not even the right words, but I guess to pay tribute to. It's something that you want to make sure that you're paying tribute, but at the same time, I can only imagine that it brings sadness every year. So, Richard, you know that everybody here in the War Room is sending you love and that we're thinking about you. So thank you for calling it to our attention that today is that anniversary. So cheers to you guys. I'm with the right folk. He said, it's all good. I appreciate it. So yes, you are. You are in the right place. This is the place you want to go, especially if you're having a rough day or if you just need a little love or whatever. This is where you want to hang out with us. Wednesday, can you just sit down? Sit. Good girl. Stop staring at. You've become very spoiled. That you think automatically when we turn everything on here in the War Room that you're just instantly going to get treats. You're very spoiled. You know that, right? And there's things coming up in the mail call for you. So can you just hang out? Can you do that? Can you just hang out with me? Are you guys seeing the head tip? Are you seeing the head tip? Are you listening intently, Wednesday? Yes, you're being a very good girl. Good girl. Donna says, cheers, thinking about you. Tip went out for the fallen, says Brito. Absolutely. My daughter asked for let me see. Oh, you guys are starting to talk about what your kids are asking for the holidays already. We're not even in December yet. I did want to let you guys know now, of course, that it's after Thanksgiving. I did get the war room decorated for the holidays. And hey, you're not going over there. No, this way. Where are you going? You can't sit behind. Hey, you can't go in there. Sit down. I got the war room decorated for the holidays, and I thought that I should be dressed in a festive manner for these shows leading up to Christmas. So I wanted to warn you guys that I am starting to go through my ugly Christmas sweater collection. So over the next few weeks, you guys are going to be able to see some of my fantastic, ugly Christmas sweaters because I've got a few of them. The Bite Me one with the gingerbread man. Can you see it? Hold on. Missing a leg. Do you hear her? Hey, shush. I got stuff going on. Shh. She is learning some bad habits from Grammy. Don't you step on that table. Hey. She's like, I hit my mark. I'm being cute. The pillows are still on the couch. Give me treats. Brianna, you're totally right. It's exactly what she's saying. Do you want this? You have to come over here. Sit down nicely. Sit down nicely. Down. Okay, fine. Come here, Zero. Zero's joining us. Hey, don't do that. Zero's joining us in the war room once again. Do you want to say hi, Zero? Zero, you want to say hi? Say hi. I just screwed up the pug cam now. There we go. There you go, Wednesday. So they can see you better. Right? You say hi to everyone? Good girl. Let's see. Kathy says, what's up, guys? I love your gingerbread man, Carrie. Thank you, Ryan. Got to find a way to work in AC/DC's Mistress for Christmas into the show, says Brito. Speaking of holiday music, I have a little something special for you guys that we got to talk about in the show today. Cutie Zero. Zero, everybody says hi. Everybody says hi. Zero is a well-behaved dog. Yeah, unlike the Nugget over here. This dog right here. This dog. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that dog. Come on, back up. Give me a high five. No, back up. No. Be good. Nicely. Now, down. Nicely. Nicely. No, down. Nicely. Good girl. Yeah, Zero's just the good dog. She's just sitting here waiting for her turn. That's all she does. Been listening to Rob Halford's album, Noel, says Eric. Yeah, there's some really good like heavy metal holiday music out there, and I kind of put it together for you, so I got that coming up on the show. So I want to welcome everybody that may be new to the War Room. Every Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern, we get together here in the War Room in my house, where we've been getting together since March 14th of last year. We did 80 shows, 80 nights in a row, really during the height of the lockdown. And then we launched the Mistress Carrie podcast, and now the War Room is once a week. It's Tuesday nights at 8:30, and we get together to talk about what's going on in music, to talk about what's going on in the world. Basically just a way for us to kind of escape all of the craziness and get together for an hour or so. Have a cocktail, catch up with everybody. Michael says, I want a cookie. Yeah, you do. Let's see. Everybody's congratulating. We have new babies. There's new additions to the War Room. I'm new here at the War Room, says Ryan. Well, welcome, Ryan. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're here every Tuesday night at 8:30, and we got a lot going on. We got to talk about the podcast. I got some big news about the podcast tonight. I am so excited. We got to talk about some tour announcements that got announced. There's a new Mistress Carrie deal tonight. So if you guys are doing some holiday shopping, I got a new deal for you guys this week. So there's a lot going on. So I guess I love that you guys, by the way, Ryan, everyone here in the War Room, they call themselves the War Room family, and they're all welcoming you with open arms. And if you want to get caught up, sometimes we have a lot of inside jokes that can be a little intimidating, and we don't want you to feel left out. If you go to the very first blog post on mistresscarrie.com, go to my blog, there is something we call the dictionary, and that's kind of all the inside jokes that we kind of use here all the time. It's our shorthand, and so we want to get you clued in. So that's where we have them all listed. I want to kind of confess this to you guys. I never noticed that I did it before. And I don't think I've talked to you guys about this before. Tonight was like the first night that I was like, what am I doing? So today I went and put my holiday sweater on to get ready for the show. And as any woman here in the War Room will be able to tell you, that as soon as you pull something over your head, you're like, oh boy, now I got to check the hair. You got to check the makeup to make sure you didn't smear anything or whatever. So I go in the bathroom and I'm just making sure that I didn't have like lipstick running down my face or whatever. And I noticed that I do something every week before the War Room, and I never really even noticed it because it's such a habit thing, and it's ridiculous. I just want you guys to know, after 160 episodes, that I put perfume on before every show. I don't know why, because you guys can't smell me, at least not until the technology improves. But I just want you guys to know that every week for every show, I have been putting perfume on for you. And what's going on? And you may not have known it, but hey, there go the pillows. And the Nutcracker. Hey, for anybody that's new to the War Room, Ryan, you're new. Wednesday hates pillows. And she likes to knock them off the couch like that. And I don't know why, but she just does it. And she knocks the pillows off the couch here in the War Room, usually every episode. And this is what she does. I'm just glad that you guys can... There goes the Nutcracker again. That you guys are seeing it on the Pugcam. And by the way, that's her Instagram handle in case you want to follow Wednesday on Instagram. Wednesday, can you stop knocking the Nutcrackers over? Can you knock it off? Come on, get this way. There's nothing over there for you. Hey. She's standing on the table right now, right over there where the control board is for the microphones. She hits the buttons, the show's going off the air. Hey, get down. She'll take the whole show down with her because she wants a cookie and she's not getting it. All right, we got a lot to what perfume? It's something called Pink Sugar. It's what I was wearing the night I met my husband. He's into it, so I wear it. And I put it on every night before the show. I have no idea why. It's just like a habit thing. But I realized I was doing it tonight, and I was like, why am I wearing perfume for a video streaming show where no one can smell me? But if we were doing the show live someplace, I would smell good. So there you go. Okay, let's see. Peeping for when Facebook introduces smell-o-vision, says Brito. Yeah, the pillow bulldozer, says Hines. I put makeup on even if I'm not going to work or out. Yeah, I mean... The perfume thing's a little odd. I didn't notice it. And I caught myself doing it and I was like, what the fuck? But I did it. So I smell good, even if only Wednesday and Zero can smell me. All right, we got to talk about a lot of stuff. So let's get cracking on the show. First of all, I want to recap last week's podcast episode. Episode 77 featured Toby and Jason from Tomes. And we talked a little bit about it last week. Tomes is basically an online service that has these incredibly long WAV files that you get access to through subscription to the service on the website. And they are different sound files. And embedded in the sound files are very specific frequencies that are geared towards sound healing, that will help you with things like anxiety, depression, pain. And a lot of it is to help you sleep better, deeper, for longer so that your brain can heal itself. And this was all put together by producer Toby Wright, who's worked with everyone from Metallica and Korn and Sevendust and Alice in Chains. And I had him on the podcast to talk about his musical career. And he had talked to me about coming up with tomes. And when we had talked about some of the shocking statistics about Alzheimer's, you guys obviously know that I was interested in that for very specific reasons. And so we really kind of got into the nuts and bolts of how this sound healing works, why these frequencies do what they do, how these audio files are actually put together. Hey, knock it off. You're not going to get these if you don't stop. I don't have anything. She's licking my hands now. Can I do I need to put the pug cam back on? Why are you being so fresh? Here, come here. I want you to explain, everyone, because we're talking about the podcast, why you're being so fresh. Huh? Tell everybody why you're being fresh. Tell them. All right. I don't have anything. Love the episode. So interesting, said Alexis. I am so behind in the podcast, like 4 weeks. I got to do some cramming to catch up, says Melissa. I signed up and I'm hoping it works, says Jonathan. The site went down the next day. Shut up. Did it really? Let's see. Time to put Wednesday to timeout. I listen to the podcast at work. That's the war room phone. There's a phone in the war room. Did you guys know that? It doesn't dial out. It only gets incoming calls. It's like that old red phone from the president's desk. It's in here. It has a light on it. The war room phone's ringing. I can't answer it. Has that ever happened on the show before? That the war room phone has actually rung? That's so weird. Yeah, she wants all the attention, Jonathan. I know she does, and I don't know why. Answer it. Keith, I got a show to do. We're doing stuff in here. So I thought it was a really interesting concept, and I love the fact that the guys from Tomes wanted to hook everybody up with a Mistress Carrie deal to be able to try it. So normally you get a 7-day trial, but for everybody here in the War Room and people that listen to the Mistress Carrie podcast, they get a free month, which you can get all the details. We'll talk about it with the Mistress Carrie deals later on in the show, but up at mistresscarrie.com. Answer it. Who says you can't answer it? I don't have a house phone. That was creepy. I know, Christina, right? Walter, get the phone, says Bish. Put the caller on the show. This is the first time it's ever rung when you were live. That's so crazy. Hey, I'm trying to do the show Wednesday. You're being very fresh. You're being fresh. So knock it off. Prolonged exposure to Grammy has been making her very disobedient lately. Can you guys hear her? Or is it just me that you can hear? Did you not renew your car warranty, says Melissa. Let me see. It's wired for a phone to ring in there. Yes, it is actually. Hey, stop being fresh. Knock it off. We have things to do. You be a good girl. Or I'll send you out. You'll be exiled from the war room and then you won't get any of the stuff that came in the mail for you. Is that what you want? That's what I thought. Shh. Can't believe you didn't answer my call, says John. They want to know about your car warranty, no caller ID, train 0 to answer the phone. Yes, I can hear her, says Donna. Let Wednesday talk to them. Wednesday is sassy tonight. I know. I don't know what's going on. I know part of it is because it's been so cold that she hasn't been able to like go outside and run around as much as she normally does because she hates the cold. There's nothing. Can you just sit? Can you just... There. Can you just sit there and be a good girl, please? Good girl. I'm going to fix the camera for you. There you go. So everybody can see you. All right. So anyway, so I wanted to put it's a little bit different of a podcast episode, but I wanted to talk about it because I thought it was really interesting, especially that it came out of a couple of guys that come from the rock world. And when it comes to physical illnesses, obviously, the physical damage that rock bands and crews go through, it's that common thread. And when I started the podcast, I wanted it to be this rock lifestyle podcast that Are you on drugs? Come here. Come here. Can you stop? Can you stop? Say hi. Oh, you want to make noise till I put you in front of a microphone? Here, take this. Take the ducking stingray. Do I need to call someone and have you removed from the war room? I've never had to do that before, but we're getting close. You're being very fresh, and I don't like it. Go over there. Lay down. Lay down. Down. Hey, down. Stay there. Stay. What is she saying? I don't know what she's saying. I wish that I did. Guys, I'm not even shitting you. She just did that. She just hit the button on the keyboard and changed the scene. Oh, you wanted... What? Are you okay? You just totally shut my camera off. Oh my God. So the Tomes episode is something... Yeah, exactly, Fernandez. Wednesday got into the catnip or something. She got into something. Like she's been bathing in sangria or something because she is wound up tonight and I don't understand it. She's like a little kid. Yeah. She usually listens really well, but not tonight. I don't know what's going on. So I wanted to put this episode on because I thought it was really interesting. I wanted to give you guys a chance to kind of hear about it and then also give you the opportunity to, she's totally taken over the show, Brianna, to just check it out and let me know what you thought. And it's also something where, you know what, if it works, this is amazing kind of technology, right? In an age where how many times have we talked in the war room about depression, addiction, pain medication, the isolation and the mental health crisis that we're having because of COVID, like, there's just so much going on. And then in talking about dementia and Alzheimer's recently here on the show, the statistic that by 2050, that's going to be the number one killer in the United States scared the hell out of me. And so I just thought, let's give this a chance and see what happens. So anybody that signed up for the 7-day free trial, there's also a Mistress Carrie deal that you can extend it for a month. We'll talk about that coming up, and I want you guys to keep me up to date and let me know what happened. All right, so that was episode 77 of the Mistress Carrie podcast. That was Tomes. Episode 78, we're getting back into it with the music this week. Ben Bruce, the guitar player from Asking Alexandria, is joining me on the show. Some things you need to know about Ben. First of all, they just had their first number one song as a band, which is huge. So we were talking about that. Second of all, he's British, but married to an American and lives in South Carolina and has 4 kids under 6. He's been busy during COVID. And so we talked a lot about that. And he also is really good friends with the Shinedown guys and lives really close to Eric Bass, the bass player and producer for Shinedown. And so we kind of talked a lot about that too, because these guys are all kind of these neighborhood friends now. And so it was really cool to get to know Ben. I had not met him in person before. He is hilarious. He's really nice. He's very sweet, very open. And we had a great conversation about music, about upbringing, about songwriting, about this musical community. He was talking about Corey Taylor and how Corey calls himself Uncle Corey around his kids, and about what it's been like during lockdown at home with 4 little kids. I got to send him some of the Mistress Carrie onesies, by the way, because his wife just had a baby 6 weeks ago. And also, we were talking about what it's like for a touring musician to kind of get locked down and some of the things that he's been doing to keep himself occupied. We also talked a lot about getting the band back out on the road, about the songwriting, and also he hinted at a big announcement that's coming from the band that has not been announced yet. So Ben Bruce from Asking Alexandria is on episode 78 of the Mistress Carrie podcast, which goes live at midnight tonight. If you're not familiar with the Mistress Carrie podcast, new full-length episodes come out every Wednesday, and it's a rock lifestyle podcast. So it's musicians, it's actors, comedians, military members, people that work for nonprofits, radio friends. It's a little bit of everything, but everyone kind of has this common thread where it's all rock related and we all kind of live the same lifestyle. And I hope that not only am I keeping you in touch with musicians and artists that you already know you love, but I also hope the podcast is going to expose you to artists that you may not be that familiar with and is going to be a way to expose them to a whole new audience. So if you have not seen Asking Alexandria yet, if you haven't listened to their music yet, maybe this episode is what's going to convince you. So Ben Bruce from Asking Alexandria is the guest on episode 78 of the Mistress Carrie podcast. It goes live at midnight. We want to thank our sponsor, Digital Federal Credit Union at dcu.org, for sponsoring this week's podcast episode as well. And if you subscribe to the podcast, you also subscribe and get the situation reports, which come out every weekday. And it's basically a rundown of everything that's going on in rock news, music headlines, industry info, entertainment headlines, all of that kind of stuff. But you get it in 5 minutes or less. So it's not a big commitment. It's not a long podcast episode to catch up with the sit rep. And once you hit play, you know you're going to get all the headlines and then you can move on with your day. And if you hear something that really interests you, I always put in the show notes of the sit rep all the links to all of the stories so that you can find what it is that I'm talking about. Speaking of links, by the way, there's always a corresponding playlist for every full-length episode of the Mistress Carrie podcast. And the Ben Bruce from Asking Alexandria episode, the podcast playlist is really, really good. So be listening for that. Okay, outlets for the podcast. If you have not yet subscribed, if you haven't checked it out yet, this is just some of the places that you can listen to the Mistress Carrie podcast. Just search the Mistress Carrie podcast. If you find that logo, you're in the right spot. Hit subscribe. You can listen to them on my Facebook page, and you can also just go straight to mistresscarrie.com and just click the player of whatever episode you want to check out, and you can listen to it right off the website as well. This is part of the excitement that I had to tell you guys. It's so crazy that this thing just sits dormant for a while, and then boom, 130 countries. Da-da-da-da-da-da! Yeah. 130 countries are now listening to the Mistress Carrie podcast. It has gotten to the point where it's really hard for me to keep track of what the new countries are. I'm fairly certain that these are among all of the new countries. So we want to welcome Nepal, Yemen, Guyana, Tanzania, North Macedonia, Somalia, Trinidad and Tobago, Madagascar. It's ridiculous. I don't want to call attention to how cute she looks when she's staring up from the corner of the screen, but I can't help it. I cannot believe there's 130 countries that have checked out the Mistress Carrie podcast. Australia this week is holding strong at the number 2 country listening to the Mistress Carrie podcast. But when I checked the report, so I pulled this number Tuesday afternoons because I wanted to be an updated number before the War Room, and I could not believe it. Yeah, boom is right, Shannon. 130 countries. It's insane. Finally getting into Africa, says Keith. I know. You, let's see. Carrie, Carrie's Spooky World was in Berlin from 91 to 97, making a 30th anniversary documentary in the works right now. That's really cool, Heidi. Joe says, Mistress Carrie taking over the world, and just like that, yes, Mark, we are taking over the world. Nepal, you got the Abominable Snowman listening. I know. Isn't that crazy? 130 countries. It's absolutely insane. I could not wait to tell you guys. Super excited about it. So thank you guys for always sharing the episodes. Thank you for always tagging people in the episodes. You know what's really cool? You guys got to check it out on Twitter today, actually. Speaking of sharing the episodes, someone shared, hold on, I want to read it to you because I don't want to misquote it. So you guys remember the Jerry Cantrell episode, which I believe was episode 70. So Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains was talking about his solo album, and he's a diehard NFL fan. He's a huge Seahawks fan. He also loves the Steelers as well. And so obviously we were talking sports. And Jerry Cantrell said on the podcast that whoever plays the music at Gillette Stadium, he wanted to thank them because they always play Alice in Chains music at Gillette, and that he notices that kind of stuff. And so he wanted to say thank you. So what's crazy is someone got the Jerry Cantrell episode of the Mistress Carrie podcast on the radar of TJ Connolly, who was the guy responsible for the playlist at Gillette Stadium. And TJ sent out a tweet today that said, at Jerry Cantrell, hey, I heard you on Mistress Carrie's podcast. I'm the guy playing the music at Gillette. I definitely play a bunch of Alice tunes in game, but FYI, we've been opening the gates with no excuses for 4 to 5 years now. Thanks for the shout out. He also said it was, so then I tweeted out a response and was like, I'm so glad that you heard about it. And TJ tweeted me back and said it was a really cool thing to hear. I'm obviously a huge fan of his. He can be a fan of whatever team he wants, meaning the Seahawks. And meanwhile, it's pretty great to hear 70,000 people sing Rooster all together. Thank you. And I said, I'm glad you heard the shout out on the show, was hoping that you would. Thanks for checking out the podcast. So because you guys share the episodes, these kinds of things get out. And so it's spreading into different countries, and then it's obviously spreading to the people that are getting talked about in the episodes, because we've now connected via Twitter the guy that plays the music at Gillette with Jerry Cantrell through the Mistress Carrie podcast. Pretty cool. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and I was really psyched that. Now I don't know if Jerry Cantrell has responded to the tweet yet. I don't think he has, but I hope he does, because that would be really cool. All right, we got some music news to go over. There's a lot of stuff going on. I want to remind you guys about Mark Lanigan from the Screaming Trees book, Devil in a Coma, which is coming out on December 14th. Mark Lanigan actually got COVID. He was in a coma over it, and he also went deaf. As a musician, I can't even imagine how scary that would be. He wrote a whole book about it. And it's called Devil in a Coma, and it comes out in just a couple of weeks. Beth Hart has a tribute to Led Zeppelin that's coming out on September 25th. Metallica have released their version of the classic board game Clue, which you can get at Metallica.com. By the way, all the bands have been having ridiculous merch sales on their websites. So if you have any music fans that you need to buy stuff for, or if you just want to buy some awesome merch from your favorite band, now's the time to do it, because the prices have all been crazy. Want to remind you guys, Dream Theater, Grammy-nominated Dream Theater, because they got nominated in the Best Metal category, is going to be at the Wang on February 25th of 2022. Tickets for Falling in Reverse at the Songus on January 21st are on sale now. Turnstile, who's been on the podcast, are playing at the Palladium on May 21st. There's new music coming out on Friday, as there is every Friday. Volbeat's new album, Servant of the Mind, is coming out on Friday. The Doors are celebrating the 50th anniversary of their album, LA Woman, with a new 50th anniversary release on Friday. And Tom Morello's new album is called The Atlas Underground Flood, which is the sister album of his recent release, The Atlas Underground Fire. Kirk Hammett and Alex Lifeson from Rush making guest appearances on Tom Morello's new album that is out on Friday. So you definitely want to check that out. Upcoming shows for the rest of the month. Speaking of Jerry Cantrell, he has got a live stream coming out tomorrow. The details on all of these, by the way, are on the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com. Next Wednesday is Smith and Myers at the Palladium. It is the 100 FM The Pike holiday show. Tickets are still available. That's Brent Smith and Zach Myers from Shinedown and their duo, their acoustic duo project. So Mike Shue's going to be there. I'll be there. Chuck Perks will be there, but that's next Wednesday at the Palladium. Genesis is playing at the TD Garden coming up on December 15th. Evanescence and Hailstorm are going to be at the DCU Center on December 18th. And also that night, this is going to be a busy night in Worcester. Also that night at the Palladium, Shadows Fall is having their reunion show at the Palladium. Speaking of shows in Worcester, I want to say what's up to everybody that I met at the Trans-Siberian Orchestra on Saturday afternoon. I put a bunch of pictures that I took up at the show on Facebook in the concert pictures photo album that I have on my Facebook page, and I put some up on Instagram as well. There were so many people that I saw at the show. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, once again, was awesome. The show was great. I think it's unreal. They sold out the DCU Center at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then another show at 8 o'clock at night. One of the female singers in the cast was from Fall River, which was really cool, and her whole family was there going crazy in the crowd. So if you have not had a chance to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, you definitely have got to check it out because, here she is. She's over here. Shh, she's quiet. Because the show's amazing. The production is unbelievable. My sister and I went. My sister's never seen it before. We took my mom and my aunt, Annie Ange, who joins us here in the War Room a lot. The four of us had an absolute blast. And we just had so much fun. And the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, you want to talk about production. Lasers, flamethrowers, cranes, just lights, LED screens. It's unreal. It was so good. So that was on Saturday. So hello to everybody that was there. Want to remind you guys about the massive Super Bowl weekend music festival that's happening in LA featuring Green Day, Halsey, Machine Gun Kelly, Miley Cyrus. It's happening at the newly named Crypto.com Arena because the Staples Center is getting renamed on Christmas Day in a new, I believe it was a $700 million 20-year renaming thing, which is just insane. You're being very good Wednesday. I appreciate you being very good and just sitting there nicely. Iron Maiden and Marvel released a new merch collection, and you got to check it out. The pictures are up online. If you are a Marvel fan, if you're an Iron Maiden fan, a fan of Eddie, you're going to love some of this merch that they just came out with. And speaking of Iron Maiden, there's a lot of news coming soon about Iron Maiden. Also, because of all the stuff going on with Iron Maiden, Bruce Dickinson's podcast came out recently. Reels has a new series coming out for the month of December. It's called Frontman. And every Saturday night at 8 p.m. in December, they are going to have a special about a different rock and roll frontman. This Saturday, it kicks off at 8 p.m., focusing on Ozzy. And then Bruce Dickinson, Steven Tyler, and David Lee Roth are all going to be the focuses of the rest of the episodes for the rest of the month. So it's on the Reels Network, and it starts this Saturday at 8 p.m., and it features Ozzy. I wanted to also remind you guys that Judas Priest rescheduled their shows at Mohegan and at the Songus because of Richie Faulkner's near-death cardiac event on stage at the Louder Than Life Festival. They have rescheduled the tour. So if you had tickets to Mohegan to see Judas Priest, that date has been rescheduled to April 2nd. If you had tickets to see Judas Priest at the Songus, was supposed to be on Halloween night, it's been rescheduled to April 4th, and the updated info is up on the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com. But the entire tour has been rescheduled. So if you had tickets for another date and held on to those tickets, they've rescheduled all of the dates, and they are all up on Judas Priest's website as well. Speaking of Bruce Dickinson, his spoken word tour is coming through the Schubert on February 5th. Tickets are on sale right now. There's your first typo tonight, guys. So I'm trying to fix the typo. It doesn't want to fix. Doesn't want to fix. Ah, there we go. Hold on. Ticks on sale. There you go. The tickets are on sale now. You got to drink anytime there's a typo on the screen. Cheers to you guys. Want to remind you guys about Volbeat and Ghost. They're going to be at the DCU Center coming up on February 11th. And of course, Volbeat getting ready to release their new album. And Wednesday's like pushing up against the thing and it's wobbling the screen. You're being very good. You're being so nice and quiet. I love it. Ghost is also getting ready to announce all the details on their upcoming new album too. But the show is February 11th. Tickets are on sale and you can see them at the DCU Center. Dropkick Murphys have all of their shows centered around St. Patrick's Day announced and on sale. March 17th, 18th, and 19th at the House of Blues. March 20th at Roadrunner, which is the new club and theater in Brighton on Guest Street, right in my old neighborhood from the radio station. And Royal Blood just announced their massive tour, and they're finally going to be able to go out in support of their album Typhoons. Royal Blood coming to Boston on May 24th. And, of course, they were on the podcast earlier when the album first came out. So if you haven't listened to them yet, she's chewing on this cardboard box. Will you knock it up? Stop. No chewing on the boxes. I'll bring you all the ticket information on Royal Blood, by the way, as soon as I get it. Events. Speaking of Smith & Myers, it's the Pike Holiday Party with Smith & Myers. It's coming up next Wednesday at the Palladium. Like I said, tickets are available now. You got to get them, though, and we're giving them away all week on the air as well on 100 FM The Pike, and you can listen at pikefm.com if you're not anywhere around the greater Worcester area. And also the WAF Big Gig rescheduled for the end of April, featuring Godsmack with 3 Days Grace, Black Veil Brides, Wage War, and Lilith Czar. And those tickets are, if you bought them already for the big gig last year or the year before because it got rescheduled, they're still good, obviously. And if you don't have your tickets yet, you can get them. So she's like being all, can you guys see? Hold on. You see this? She's just sitting now. See, this is how she is. She can be like completely disobedient and then just be totally snuggly and sweet and just want to sit here with me. And all you guys can see is like her eyeballs. She looks like an alligator just sitting down there with her little bulbous eyeballs sticking out. So yeah, get your tickets. All the details and all the events I'm talking about are up in the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com. All right, let's talk about Mistress Carrie deals, because every year around the holidays, I always want to save you guys some money, give you guys some shopping ideas, and also why should you pay full price? That's ridiculous. So Tiesta Tea, live loose. If you have a tea lover on your shopping list, if you love tea, Tiesta Tea is willing to give Mistress Carrie listeners 15% off of everything. They have sampler packs. They have all of the accessories that you could possibly need. I can tell you that the blueberry tea that they sent in the sampler pack to me is delicious. It's really, really good. So there, if you go to my blog at mistresscarrie.com, the link's there. The code you need is Carrie15. You get 15% off of everything. We talked about it because of last week's podcast episode. Tomes, if you go to tomes.com or just go to the link in my blog at mistresscarrie.com, Tomes is offering a free 7-day trial to try the service. However, for Mistress Carrie fans, if you sign up for the free 7-day trial, there is an email address in my blog. Send them an email with from the email address you sign up with and say, hey, I want my Mistress Carrie deal. They'll extend your free trial for an entire month of Tomes just because you're a Mistress Carrie listener, which I think is pretty awesome. So that's up in my blog as well. And then newly added Spartan Brews coffee, 20% off everything you buy with the code. It would help if I put the fucking code on the screen, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that help? Yeah, it would help. This counts, by the way, as a typo. There's the code. So use the code Mistress20 and you're going to get 20% off of everything. There's a link, the code, everything is in my blog. So you got 3 Mistress Carrie deals going right now. You got Tiesta Tea, you've got Spartan Brews coffee, and you've also got Tomes. So you check all of those out in my blog. Time for the mail call, which is probably why this little nugget has been sitting here so quiet. Is that what you've been waiting for? Been waiting to see what came in the mail? All right, so the first thing we got to open is this card, which I did not open earlier. A little Christmas card action. And it says, sorry, no bag of dicks this season. Let's see. Carrie, sending love from the hubs too, and Wednesday and Zero. I hope you have a nice holiday. P.S. I saw these and thought you could add them to your collection. Love, Dusty and Monica. Hold on. You know what's crazy is that I don't have these, especially not this one. I've never even seen this one before. How cool is that? So I got some new holiday Pez to add to the Pez collection. Oh, wait, let me put it that way so you guys can see it. This one I had never even seen before. How cool is that? So thank you. Yes, they are going into the collection. I have a huge Christmas collection of Pez because they come out with new ones every year. And then I have a massive collection of the Halloween ones, but they come out with new ones all the time. So I got to make room on the shelf. All right. Then I got this one, which is why this nugget over here has been. So I got this card, gold, frankincense, myrrh. How about a nice scarf, baby? Little was known about the fourth king. Hilarious. I love homemade cards, by the way. Merry early Christmas. Here is some Pez I hope you don't have, and also some cookies for Wednesday and Zero if she likes to share. Thanks. And it's Love Christy. So I love the card. It's absolutely hilarious. And hey, get away from there. I don't have the pizza one. Hey, I have to double check if I have this Wonder Woman one or not, because there's multiple Wonder Woman ones. So I have to check that one. These I know I don't have. Check these out. Stranger Things. How cool are these? These are awesome. I do not have these. Nor have I seen them, by the way. Wednesday, there's so many Pez's. I also do not have this one. I have another troll one, but I don't have this one. I think I have, everything is backwards. I think I have this one, but I have to double check. But I don't have like the heavy metal ones. Like that guy, I don't think I have him. And then these are for Wednesday. Crunchy bones with pumpkin. So there's even pumpkin spice dog treats. Do you want to try one of these? Huh? Is that why you've been good? Because you've been sitting in here waiting? You want to try one? Okay. Can I put the pug cam on? Where'd you go? There you are. Where are you going? She just took off. Oh my God. I don't know where she went. She just took her little bone and she just took off. I don't know if she's going to make fun of Zero with it or what, but I don't know. So that's what came in the mail call. I don't know what, did you guys have a meeting about Pez? Because you guys like added to my collection in a pretty significant way, because I think the Wonder Woman one is like the only one that I might already have. But otherwise, you guys found a bunch of them that I don't even have. I need to take an updated picture of the Pez for you guys because it's kind of insane. I also wanted to call your attention to the website and everything that's been going on. So there are a bunch of Black Friday deals on mistresscarrie.com in the store, and the Black Friday deals expire at midnight tonight. So I kept it through Black Friday and Small Business Saturday and Cyber Monday, and today is Giving Tuesday. But I left the sales up there and they are live until midnight tonight. So if you haven't checked them out yet, there's a bunch of stuff that's up for sale at mistresscarrie.com. And you can also get certain things of Mistress Carrie merch at Joe's Albums, which I'm super psyched about. So he's got a place right on Main Street in Worcester. There's another one on Market Street in Northampton. And you can also go to joesalbums.com. And it's a really cool place to buy your vinyl. Even the newer stuff that's coming out. It's not just used vinyl, but as artists are releasing new albums, and we're always talking about the new music that's coming out, the artists are always releasing their new albums on vinyl, collectible colored vinyl, picture discs, all of that kind of stuff. And you can get all of that stuff at Joe's Albums. I also wanted to let you guys know, isn't this cute? A little Christmas tree action. I wanted to point out that if you go in my blog at mistresscarrie.com, I have added pretty significantly to the Mistress Carrie Christmas Rocks playlist. So if you are looking to have a soundtrack for your holidays and you don't want it to just be Mariah fucking Carey, we can help with that. So I have your holiday playlist, all of your Christmas stuff. It's all up there and it's in the blog and the playlist is embedded in there. Or if you just follow me on Spotify or whatever, I'm always putting new playlists up, but there's a bunch of Christmas music, a bunch of holiday stuff. Artists that you wouldn't expect to have holiday songs either, like Typo Negative, artists like that. It's all up. I put it up a little while ago today. So, how are your glow-in-the-dark rubber duckies? They're actually really good, and they glow for a while. So it's kind of funny when you walk into that bathroom and it's been dark in there for a while, and you're like, oh, shit, why is that? Oh, because they glow in the dark. Mariah fucking Carey, LOL, says Trina. Blueberry Cobbler. Okay, I loved your Halloween shit. Yeah, there's some really good stuff in the Christmas playlist as well. And I wanted to help kind of make your holidays a little bit better. So I'm still finding songs and I'm adding to the playlist all the time, but there's a lot of stuff in there that'll at least kind of get you into the holiday spirit because I believe that you shouldn't do anything Christmassy or whatever until after Thanksgiving and definitely once you get into December. And so we're kind of there, unfortunately. All right. If today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. If today is your birthday, Dick Clark was born on this date. So was Billy Idol, Roger Glover from Deep Purple, Dale Stewart from Seether, and John Moyer from Disturbed. Were all born today. So if today's your birthday, cheers. You got some heavy hitters that are sharing your birthday with you today. So happy birthday. My wife put the Christmas decorations up on Friday. Looks awesome. The only thing I haven't done yet is decorate the actual tree. I got the tree yesterday and I wanted to have it in the house so all the leaves, not the leaves, but the branches would come down. And so the tree's getting decorated in the next 24 hours. So I'll put up a picture for you. And there is a tree here in the war room, and I got to show you guys a picture of that too. But the war room has its own tree, and they are all military and patriotic themed ornaments. And that's here in the war room. I'm looking at it right now. It looks really pretty. Let me see if I can show it to you, actually. Hold on. Let me see if I can show it to you with the bug cam. There you go. Don't mind the road case with the gear in it, but that's the war room tree right there. Down there is a military helmet with extra Christmas balls in it, but all of those different ornaments are all military themed and related ornaments. Some of them super sentimental to me. And so there you go. Having this the pug cam on the stick. That's good. Let's see. We did your birthdays. Want to let everybody know that everyone with a Mistress Carrie backstage pass, we had done a Black Friday kind of sale and coupon code. But everybody with a Mistress Carrie backstage pass gets 20% off of everything in the Mistress Carrie online store through Christmas. And there's going to be a post in Patreon to give you the code so that you can shop and get 20% off of everything. And that includes sale items. So I'll make sure that you get the code tonight so that you can, in the wee hours, take advantage of the extra sale. So If you do not have a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass, it makes a great holiday gift. You get exclusive live streams with me every month. You can submit podcast interview questions, early access to event tickets, and exclusive concert ticket giveaways. And there are a lot of shows that are coming around, and there are going to be a lot of opportunities to get your hands on some concert tickets. So if you don't have a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass yet, you got to get one. Sign up right now. Go to patreon.com/Mistress Carrie, or just go to mistresscarrie.com and click the Patreon button. I also want to remind you guys where you can find me online. This is what it's like to be a weatherman. It's like the green screen. Everything's backwards. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Cameo, which is another great way to get something for someone around the holidays. I can make a custom Cameo video for them. I can wear an ugly Christmas sweater. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is where all of the Cocktails in the War Room episodes go after we get done here on Facebook. So anybody that doesn't have Facebook can watch the War Room episodes after the fact, and on Patreon as well. So all of them are up there. Never seen custom moving video I've never seen custom moving video like that from the War Room before. Well, I never had the ability to move the camera around like that. I mean, when I had the phone in my hand, I could kind of move it around. But I've told you guys in the past, though, there's a lot of like personal family stuff that I don't want on the internet, which is why I don't just have a camera so that you guys can just like see everything on the walls, because there is stuff in here that is personal and stuff that I just don't want like videotaped and whatever. But yeah, the War Room tree is really cool. My mom bought it for me a while ago. It's a black kind of iron metal tree. And every year I put it up in the War Room, and it's got themed ornaments on it, especially celebrating different members of my family. So there's a Coast Guard ornament up there for my nephew who's in the Coast Guard. Obviously, all the Marine stuff for my husband, all the Army stuff from, you know, the guys I've been overseas with. And then I also am the kind of person that always collects Christmas ornaments when I travel. So when I go to places like the Marine Corps Museum, I got an ornament from there. I went to the National Archives, I got an ornament from there. And so I just kind of love this, you know, kind of special collection of just military and kind of patriotic personal ornaments that I have that celebrate my family and all of my friends. And having it in the War Room is the perfect place, because otherwise they would end up on my regular Christmas tree, and then maybe the ornaments they'd get kind of hidden with all the other stuff, the goofy skulls and pugs that I have hanging on my regular tree. But I like the fact that the War Room has its own tree, and this one, the needles don't fall off, because I'm a real tree person. So good night, Ryan. Thanks for hanging out. I'm all high tech now, says Melissa. I know. Uncle Froggy up there. Yeah, Uncle Froggy's up in the War Room. Absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, not Uncle Groggy, Uncle Froggy, Heidi. I knew what you meant. But yeah, Uncle Froggy's here in the War Room. There's just a lot of really personal things in here that just, I just don't want to have them up on the internet. There's one thing that I can tell you guys about. I've talked to you guys about it before, but I can't really talk too much about where I got it or how I got it. But there's an ISIS flag in here. That was a gift. And an ISIS flag is not something you want to have photographed and have it be up on the internet and then have people think for some reason that I'm pro-ISIS somehow. But yeah, there's a lot of weird things that people that have served overseas have brought back for me. And it's this real amazing collection of stuff. And so when people come over and they kind of comb through the War Room with a drink in their hand, obviously, there's a lot of stories to be had in here, but it's definitely not something that I want to have everything on the internet. So I'm not just going to wander around with cameras, but let's see. Do you still have a Taliban flag? You mean the ISIS flag? Yes, I have the ISIS flag. Let's see. I'm trying to get caught up on all your questions. Good question, Joe. The time zones, you guys saw the clocks that are up there. So I always have a clock on Boston time. I always have a clock on Baghdad time because of my trip to Iraq. I always have a clock on Kabul time because of my trip to Afghanistan. And then I always have a clock that is set to wherever my husband is. And so I change the plaque that's there depending on the deployment. This is his third deployment since he and I have been together. So there's always a clock on the wall that is the time of wherever he is. And so those time zone clocks that are up there, it's always like the nearest major city or whatever that's the time zone that it's set for. So it's just a little something that I like to do because he's not here. And so I always like to know that there's just a clock for him. And so that's kind of, his clock changes. The rest of them don't. I set him to Baghdad and Kabul because of my trips overseas. And it's just kind of a little reminder, that of those trips. But then there's one clock that always changes because it depends on where he is. So I love knowing that what time it is. Hey, Sandy. My old neighbor, Sandy. What's up, Sandy? Thanks for joining us in the war room. I'm sure it's way warmer where you are than it is where I am. Trina says that's so sweet. You're so dedicated to him. I bet you can't wait for the clock to always be on Boston time. Yeah, it's this is our second set of holidays. So I had to order family Christmas cards, right? Because since last year we got married and people weren't able to come to the wedding because of COVID. So we wanted to make Christmas cards with wedding photos on them to send to our family, especially out of state. And he was already deployed when I sent the Christmas cards out. Making this year's Christmas cards and having him still be gone, this is the second set of holidays. This was our first wedding anniversary. It was the anniversary of our first date. It was the second Thanksgiving, the second birthday for me, his birthday, kids' birthdays, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day. We're going through a second set of all of those milestones and he's still gone. So counting down the days, until he gets to come home, which won't be until after the new year. But I mean, it's, when you're happy, right? And you're happy in a relationship and you're in love with someone and they're far away, you want to do anything you can to stay close to them. And I like having, there's a ton of pictures of him around the house because it's nice to see his face. And I like having, the clock so that I always know what time it is because you're always doing math. Right? It's like I got to put it into military time and then I got to figure out what time zone. And then depending on if there's daylight savings time or not, because most of the time when he's deployed, they don't observe daylight savings time. So sometimes it's 8 hours, sometimes it's 9 hours, sometimes it's 7 hours. That's why I have clocks up on the wall here in the war room. Let's see. Ooh, I froze. Sorry, guys. Being a Marine wife is not easy. Mine of 43 years got drug all around the world with me or left home when I went away to exotic places. Look, I'm not complaining. He was well into his military career when we got together. So it's not like I didn't know exactly what I was getting into. And, I don't know what it would be like to be pregnant or have a baby without your significant other there. I haven't dealt with that. I'm established in my career. I have my own place. And so I'm not having some of those struggles that maybe some of the, younger military families go through. And, but it's still not easy, but obviously, you deal with it the best you can. And like I said, I knew what I was getting into. So this wasn't a surprise. We got married and he left 3 weeks later. So I think I've seen him a total of 9 days since he left. And that was 15 months ago? So can I FaceTime? Yeah, Heinz, I can see him pretty often. It just depends on the internet. But I am fortunate enough that technology makes it easy for me to be able to see him. It takes about 4 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, it depends, but about 4 weeks for him to get mail from me. So I've always got to be ahead when I'm sending him stuff. So he got his Halloween candy like a week and a half after Halloween, but he was psyched that he got it. So yeah, look, people in World War II, my grandparents had it way worse. My grandfather was gone for 2 years in the South Pacific on a ship, and they were sending letters back and forth. So there's no complaining here. I've gotten a wave at him from a distance, says Brianna. Yeah, every once in a while he checks in and says hi. Sometimes when we're doing the live stream with the backstage pass holders, he'll call in and I'll be like, babe, I have to go. And he'll be like, tell everybody I said hi. So yeah, it's been good, but I can't wait to get him home. And it won't be until sometime early next year. So I don't know exactly when yet, but I can't wait. Okay. I think that's it, guys. So as a reminder, coming up at midnight tonight, episode 78 of the Mistress Carrie podcast featuring Ben Bruce from Asking Alexandria. The episode sponsored by Digital Federal Credit Union. Super excited about this episode to get back to the music. And he's just really cool. And wait until you guys hear from him. I think you're going to love him as well. I've been freezing off and on all night tonight, Michelle. Heidi says 2022, big things happening. Absolutely. Hopefully for good, Carrie, says Jeff. Yeah, he'll be home, but you know, I thought the last time he came home was going to be for good, and then shit happens. We'll figure it out. I don't know where the dog went, but obviously she's probably napping after all the excitement earlier in the show. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate you guys joining me here in the War Room every Tuesday night at 8:30. The episodes are always posted on YouTube after the fact, so if anybody missed them, you can go back and watch it there. And I will see everybody next Wednesday at the Palladium for the Smith and Myers show, the holiday show for 100 FM The Pike. And I think that's it. I thought the freezing was my crappy internet. Yeah, sorry guys. I thought we were good. Usually if it freezes on my end, but it wasn't. So good night, everybody. I'll see you later. Glad you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great time. And happy shopping. Oh, God. All right, I'll see you guys later.